This is Chameo Frierson, and this is my the blog assignment. Um, about a month ago, or two, I attended a student dialogue by Clemson University, and the subject of our dialogue was pretty much race and what it meant to be, you know, in a race or whatnot. And to start off the discussion, we all just kind of sat down in a circle and we discussed our name. We talked about who we are, where we're from, and we did a series of activities to kind of, I guess, acclimate us to what was going on. And they talked about what was the difference between a discussion and like a dispute. And a dispute was pretty much like I'm wrong, you're right, vice versa. Whereas a discussion or dialogue is where we both present points and we both just kind of see the differences. We don't really judge the responses in that way. So for the most part, I thought that the group that I was a part of was about 17 of us, and for the most part, I thought about 99% of us, if not all of us, were very open. We didn't judge, at least from the surface. I didn't see any judgment there. And I think we really did have a dialogue because of the fact that we were able to speak openly about our various ethical and racial backgrounds and provide a sense of insight, so to speak, about who we are and where we're from. There were definitely some active voices in the dialogue. Me particularly, I'm just the kind of guy who wants to talk. I have a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind. So I thought I was one of the active voices in the dialogue, just to kind of keep things from getting too dry, because there were some people who really didn't want to say much of anything, to be honest. And for that, I just kind of I felt I had to compensate just a little bit more to keep the dialogue flowing well. There were several others beside myself, but on top of my head, I was an active voice. There were several reserved voices. They just kind of sat on the fence about the whole dialogue sort of thing. They pretty much just kind of answered when they were called upon to answer, not really because they wanted to answer. And I'm not sure if they did that because of the fact that they didn't want to talk about their viewpoints, or because excuse me, because they just wasn't comfortable with the topic that we were talking about. And I guess that's acceptable for them, but for me, being African American, it was definitely one of those few times where people, I guess, expect for you to say something, because I guess they figure being the minority, you see the world through different eyes, a different sense, so to speak, and I could definitely agree with that statement. And I think it was a good idea for the most part that we had to do our particular student dialogue, because of the fact that it just kind of felt like they just kind of mixed some people together and pretty much just like rolling the dice and trying to see what was going to happen when all that kind of combined together. So I don't think, for the most part, I think it was a good idea. It was sort of a drag, but I think for the most part, more good came out of it than, say, the hour or two that we spent in the room or whatever. And for the most part, I don't think the point was to, make friends or socialize or anything. This was about a serious discussion about race and what it means to be different races. I definitely saw some different points of view that other people had to offer. And I definitely listened to them and took it in with a grain of salt because it is different. It's for me anyway to be here at Clemson because they make it seem like Clemson's this extremely diverse place and whatnot. But when you get here, the reality of the situation is it's mainly Caucasian. You see the occasional African American, Asian, Indian, the other minority, so to speak. And it's kind of saddening actually. I thought it'd be a little bit more diverse than it actually is, but it's not really diverse at all. So, I mean, I still like it here, but as far as like culturally, it just doesn't appeal to my particular culture. And that's any thoughts I may have about the dialogue in general is that the instructor, proctor, or whoever they were over the whole discussion, I thought they were quite kind and courteous. She was Latino, Latina. So I thought it was kind of cool that she actually had quite a bit to say about the whole issue as well, and how she feels looking through, Clemson in a way that I kind of sympathized with her in a way because I understood what she meant. And there's a lot of stuff that I guess the average person who isn't in a minority, they wouldn't see it. But because you are in a minority, you notice certain things that normal people would just disregard because, they blend in. So that's about all I have to say about that. Chameo Frierson,